John, here we are at Davos at the World Economic Forum meeting. You're going to be meeting with investors while you're here. How do you see investors looking at real estate in the context of their broader investment strategies?
It's a good question, Gail. It's an interesting question today, and one some of my colleagues on the strategy side have been examining. I think in general, the real estate industry can say that some of the pricing right now is looking full relative to historic real estate pricing. But when you compare real estate and its yields to bonds and to equities, it's actually looking very attractive relative to other investment classes today, which is part of the reason that so much new money is still coming into the real estate industry.
You're going to be in a session talking about capital in emerging economies. What do you see the opportunities there and the challenges?
Well, I think the opportunities there are that in this uncertain economic environment, still most of our clients are focused on the major developed markets, and the emerging markets have been too volatile and not transparent enough. But what's happening now is with growing confidence, although it's mixed in terms of the economic growth, we're finding more of our clients are interested in Asia Pacific again, having frankly cooled on it for several years after the financial crisis.
The theme at Davos this year is the new global context. So you talked a little bit about Asia, some emerging economies. Are there any other parts of the world you think are important for investors to consider?
Well, this comes to the risk question that was implicit in your emerging markets question. I still think that most investors today, particularly coming out of the Middle East and Asia, are focused on the developed markets because there's much less political and economic risk. And so they're focused on the Londons, the Parises, the Berlins, say nothing of the San Franciscos and the New Yorks, and a little less focused on the emerging markets. But again, there are another group of investors, often from the United States or Canada, focusing on the emerging markets because that's where they see the growth. As always, it's an interesting mix. That's what makes this business fun.
Thank you, John. Have a great week in Davos.
Thank you very much, Gail. Good seeing you.